The following is a Comfortably Zoned Radio Network production.
Thank you, Tally Olson. I am back. You are comfortably zoned with me, the Zigzag Man in Alameda, California, right across the bay from San Francisco, across the moat from Oakland, in the great state of California. And I say it's a great state because it's my home state. I grew up in New York and lived out here now since 1966. So, and all that time primarily in the East Bay of San Francisco. And so I think it's pretty great. New York was great. Memories galore of New York. Friends that I've reacquainted myself with through Facebook in our neighborhood group that are incredibly friends and memories that are incredibly dear to me. And I just take advantage of my good fortune that I found Facebook with all its faults and this, that, and the other thing. And God knows I've fought them on an incredible amount of levels that you can't even imagine all these years. I can't imagine being without Facebook in my life. So I'm grateful to them, and as a matter of fact, they are responsible for the theme of this show, which I'm taking it kind of solo on this, and you'll see why. 2 or 3 days ago, I came across a site on Facebook that entitled something like Van Living Cheap or this, that, and the other thing. I can't remember the exact title of it, but I checked in. And what it was about people who either live in vans, want to live in vans, have lived in vans, the experience, what they do, how people survive in vans. And guess what? I lived 22 years in a van and or camper van, whatever you call it. I survived with the help of Jesus, of course. No, only kidding. With the help of YMCAs and 24-hour fitness. I lived just fine in a van and had many incredible experiences. So I thought I'd do a podcast about it and tell you how it came to be that I was known in my neighborhood in the city of Alameda as Von Monn, Van Man. I was living the good life. And the good life in Alameda, or the good life anywhere, is when you can not work very hard, especially full time. Avoid that if you possibly can. And there are trade-offs, but yeah, the trade-off is time. You get time. Can't trade that back. You never get enough time in life. So my thinking was, rather than make work my focus of life, I would live in a van and not pay rent, not have to. And rents in the Bay Area are incredibly exorbitant. I got to tell you that. So, I mean, You can't be a part-time worker in the Bay Area. You can't live like I did and pay rent for anything decent. So you have to create your own space this way. And I did. I did for 22 years. There were good, there's the good and the bad and the ugly of that. Believe me. Now, first of all, the ugly. You gotta be, unlike me, a good money manager from the start. And if you're the kind of person that is like me, living, spending just a tad more than he or she makes on a regular basis, like all the time, don't live in a van. The stress, unless you know how to handle that kind of stress, being out there isn't a good life if you don't have a control of your money. Give you an example. You have to have, if you're going to be Monn, like yours truly, so proudly, if you're going to be Monn, you have to keep your registration and your license and all that stuff with DMV absolutely set. Absolutely set. And if you do that, it takes away a lot of the pressures of being out there unregistered, attracting the cops for all the wrong reasons, this, that, and the other thing. It's legal. It is legal to do what people who live in vans do. That's all. It's not, what isn't legal is not taking care of business. So I would suggest, if you're going to live in that sort of situation, get your shit together. Excuse the language. I don't really have to excuse the language. You know me. I'm Von Monn. Anyway, or the Zigzag Man later on. The Zigzag Man. And I can combine the two and live in a van very carefully. Because smoke smells. Nowadays, you could vape all you want. Living in California where it's legal, I mean. And vapes don't smell. But back when I was doing it, back in the day when I was a young Von Monn, when I was a young man and never been kissed. Anyway, I'm rambling on here, trying to give my new friends on the Facebook website a little advice if they're going to gravitate towards it. Always have a Y or a 24-hour fitness that you could go to get your personal needs met. And it makes you feel incredibly powerful if you shower and shinola every day, even if you don't want to. So there you go. If you're living in a van, especially, who is that guy? Are you homeless? A cop once asked me. I said, no, I'm rentless. And I didn't stink. I was well groomed as I possibly can be. And he said, okay, fine. Inside my van was what I called my basic necessities: books, music, pictures, and warmth. So have them available. Have many books, and have many CDs and much music. Or now you could Spotify it, but back then you needed to keep music in your head. And park on the sunny side of the street. Park out of harm's way. Park in neighborhoods where you can't, and get up in the morning and skedaddle. You park, you keep the lights out, you're quiet, and you get up and you're gone. You never attract attention because even if you are legal, attracting attention isn't good because a neighbor or this, that, and the other thing can be a hassle. Look for a place to store your vehicle if you need to get out of town for one reason or another. Have that in mind. Have it all set up. Have an arrangement made. Just ticking off some things in my head to make life easier if you're a Monn or Madame, what is it? Madame Monn. Anyway, so that's my gift to my new friends on Facebook. And at the same time, I thought I'd ramble out. Maybe another time I'll tell you what led up to my being Von Monn and where I've gone since not being Von Monn anymore. Another podcast. But for now, I really found this to be cathartic, thinking about the old days and staying out of harm's way. Because, ladies and gentlemen, if you're Von Monn or not, staying out of harm's way is muy importante. I learned that at Newtown High School, muy importante, from Hazel Artis. Was it Hazel Artis? I think that was her name. Back in Newtown High School, where I was a proud super senior. Memories. Thanks for listening, everybody. I'm sorry to have rambled this long, but like I say, it's cathartic to me, and I hope helpful to my new friends on Facebook. I will send them a link, and I will call it Surviving Being Von Monn. And there's two ends in that, ladies and gentlemen. I demand respect. Adios and happy trails.
The proceeding has been a Comfortably Zoned network production. You are advised to keep your dreams wet, your humor dry, your children and grandchildren out of military recruiting offices and off the laps of clerics who wear dresses. Thank you for listening, everyone. Happy trails.